A chilling fog creeps through the streets of Coldwater, a once peaceful town now gripped by fear. It's a place where doors are double-locked at dusk, where empty swings creak in abandoned playgrounds, and where every face in the crowd is a potential suspect. This isn't the setting of a horror film. It's the reality for the residents of Coldwater, a town haunted by a string of unsolved murders and disappearances that have baffled detectives for decades. Welcome to Chilling Mysteries. Today, we delve into the story of a community stalked by an invisible predator, a series of crimes that have left families shattered and a town forever marked by the shadows of the vanished. It began, as these stories so often do, with a single disappearance. On a frosty night in October 1992, 17-year-old Emily Harper vanished while walking home from her part-time job at the local diner. She was last seen leaving the neon-lit comfort of the Bluebird Cafe, her breath visible in the cold air, her footsteps echoing down Main Street. Emily's family expected her home by 10:30. By midnight, her mother was calling friends, the police, anyone who might have seen her. The search began at dawn, volunteers combing the woods, flashlights glinting off wet leaves. They found nothing, not a shoe, not a hair, not a single clue. Emily Harper had vanished without a trace. In the years that followed, the town hoped it was a tragic one-off. Maybe Emily had run away. Maybe she'd started a new life. But the Harper family knew better. The unanswered questions festered, and Coldwater tried to move on. But then, in 1997, tragedy struck again. This time it was Michael Reeves, a 23-year-old college student home for the summer. He left a friend's bonfire just after midnight, planning to walk the 2 blocks to his parents' house. He never arrived. His phone was found in the gutter the next morning, screen cracked, battery dead. The community rallied, but the outcome was the same. Michael was gone. 2 disappearances, 5 years apart, no answers. It was around this time that rumors began to spread. People whispered about a curse, about dark secrets buried in the town's history. Some said there had to be a connection. 2 young people disappearing on quiet streets, no evidence, no witnesses. The police, under pressure from terrified residents, brought in outside experts. Criminal profilers examined the cases, searching for patterns, for any sign of a serial predator lurking in the shadows of Coldwater. But there was nothing to link Emily and Michael, except the town itself. In 2002, the terror escalated. This time, the victim was not a teenager, but a respected local teacher, Linda Voss. She'd spent the evening grading papers in her classroom, her car parked in a well-lit lot just outside the school. Security cameras caught her leaving at 8:47 p.m., keys in hand, purse swinging by her side. Then, nothing. Her car was found, unlocked, in the same spot the next morning. Her purse was on the passenger seat. Inside, her cell phone, wallet, and a single earring. Linda Voss had simply ceased to exist. As the body count rose, so did the fear. In a town of fewer than 10,000, 3 disappearances in a decade was more than a coincidence. The local paper ran headlines warning of a silent stalker. Town meetings grew tense, with residents demanding answers, action, anything to stop the terror. Police increased patrols, installed more streetlights, and urged people not to walk alone at night. But the sense of safety that once defined Coldwater was gone. Over the next 15 years, the disappearances slowed, but the unease never left. New families moved in, unaware of the town's haunted past. But for those who'd lived through the nightmare, every lost pet, every late-night knock, every empty seat at the dinner table was a reminder of the vanished. Then, in 2018, the nightmare returned. On the night of May 12, 2018, 16-year-old Allison Monroe went missing on her way home from a friend's house. She'd texted her mother at 9:14 p.m., "Leaving now, be home soon," and then, nothing. Her bike was found propped neatly against a fence just a block from her house. Her phone, left in the basket, contained no new messages. For the Monroe family, the nightmare that had haunted Coldwater for decades had come home. The investigation into Allison's disappearance was exhaustive. Police canvassed the neighborhood, knocking on doors, reviewing security footage from every house and business along her route. The FBI was called in, and the case made national headlines. But as with the others, no evidence was found. No witnesses came forward. Allison Monroe had vanished into thin air, just like Emily, Michael, and Linda before her. What makes these cases so chilling is the complete absence of evidence. No blood, no signs of struggle, no ransom notes, no communication from the missing. It's as if an invisible hand reached out and plucked these people from the earth, leaving no trace behind. For law enforcement, this lack of physical evidence is the ultimate frustration. They're trained to follow the trail, to piece together the puzzle. But in Coldwater, the puzzle pieces simply don't exist. Over the years, countless theories have been proposed. Some believe the disappearances are the work of a cunning serial killer. A predator who stalks the quiet streets, choosing victims at random and disposing of them with surgical precision. This theory is supported by the FBI's own analysis, which notes the similarities in victim profiles and the absence of typical serial offender signatures. But the lack of a clear pattern, no specific age group, gender, or method, makes it nearly impossible to create a meaningful profile. Others whisper of a more sinister conspiracy. They point to Coldwater's history, to rumors of illegal dumping grounds, secret societies, and long-buried family secrets. Some suggest that the victims stumbled upon something they shouldn't have seen, and paid the ultimate price. But for every conspiracy theory, there's a skeptic ready to dismiss it as hysteria born of fear and grief. Then there are those who blame the landscape itself. Coldwater is surrounded by dense forests and winding rivers, a place where it's easy to disappear. Some believe the victims simply got lost, fell into the river, or wandered too far into the woods. Yet search teams have scoured these areas with dogs, drones, and divers. They've found nothing, not even a hint of the missing. Perhaps the most disturbing theory is the one that no one wants to voice. What if the killer is one of their own? In small towns, everyone knows everyone. It's almost unthinkable that a neighbor, a friend, a teacher, or a coach could be responsible for such horrors. Yet statistically, most violent crimes are committed by someone the victim knows. The idea that the predator walks among them, blending seamlessly into the fabric of daily life, is enough to keep every resident looking over their shoulder. If the people of Coldwater hoped for closure, they would be disappointed. Decades later, the families of the missing still leave porch lights on, just in case their loved ones find their way home. Every year, on the anniversaries of the disappearances, they gather in the town square, holding candles and praying for answers. The Coldwater Police Department keeps the files open, a constant reminder of their failure to solve the town's greatest mystery. But Coldwater is not alone. Across America, thousands of cases remain unsolved, lives interrupted, families left in limbo, communities haunted by the unknown. What sets Coldwater apart is the sheer emptiness left behind. In most cases, there's at least a body, a crime scene, a clue. Here, there is nothing. Only the ache of absence, the questions that linger long after the search parties have disbanded. The Harper family, now scattered across the country, still returns to Coldwater each October. Emily's mother, now in her 70s, visits the diner where her daughter was last seen, sipping coffee in the corner booth, watching the door. She hasn't moved on, she can't. You can't grieve for a ghost, she once told a reporter. You're always waiting for them to come back. The Reeves family has their own rituals. Every year on Michael's birthday, they release a lantern into the night sky, hoping he'll see it, wherever he is. They've hired private investigators, psychic mediums, even searched through online forums for any sign of their son. Each lead ends in disappointment. Michael's father died in 2015, never knowing what happened to his boy. Linda Voss's case is unique in that she was the only adult victim with a high profile in town. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the school district, sparking rumors about angry students, jealous colleagues, and even a secret lover. But police found no evidence of foul play, no enemies, no unhappy secrets. Linda was beloved by her students and respected by her peers. Her classroom remains untouched, a shrine to the woman who vanished without warning. And then there's the Monroe family, the most recent victims of Coldwater's curse. Allison's disappearance is still fresh, the wounds still raw. Her friends keep her memory alive on social media, posting old photos and sharing stories of late-night bike rides and whispered secrets. Her room remains exactly as she left it, her favorite books stacked on the nightstand, her shoes lined up by the door. For her parents, every day is a struggle to maintain hope in the face of silence. The psychological toll of these unsolved crimes cannot be overstated. For the families, the lack of closure is a special kind of torment. They're trapped in a limbo, unable to properly grieve, always searching for answers that never come. For the community, the crimes have created an atmosphere of suspicion and fear. Neighbors eye each other warily, friendships have frayed, and trust has eroded. The town's identity, once built on small-town charm and safety, is now defined by what's missing. Law enforcement has not given up. Coldwater's police chief, a lifelong resident, has dedicated his career to solving these cases. He keeps the files on his desk, reviewing them regularly for connections others may have missed. In 2022, a new task force was formed, combining local officers with state and federal agents. They've re-examined old evidence, interviewed witnesses, and consulted with experts in criminal profiling and forensic psychology. But the reality is grim. With each passing year, memories fade, evidence degrades, and the chances of solving the mystery grow slimmer. The disappearances have also attracted the attention of true crime enthusiasts and amateur sleuths. Online forums buzz with theories, timelines, and maps. Some have even traveled to Coldwater, hoping to uncover a clue missed by professionals. But so far, no one has succeeded. The cases remain stubbornly unsolved, the missing forever out of reach. For all the pain and fear, there are moments of resilience and hope. The families of the missing have become advocates for victims' rights, pushing for legislative changes and better support for those left behind. They've raised funds for awareness campaigns, organized search parties, and shared their stories in the hope that someone, somewhere, knows something. But the question lingers. How does a person vanish without a trace? In an age of surveillance cameras, cell phones, and digital footprints, true disappearances are increasingly rare. Yet in Coldwater, they happen again and again. Is it coincidence? A criminal mastermind? Or something even darker? The story of Coldwater is a reminder that evil can hide in plain sight, that darkness can settle over even the brightest of communities. It's a story of loss, of unanswered questions, of families living in the shadow of the unknown. And it's a story that, until someone comes forward, until a clue finally breaks the silence, will continue to haunt the town and everyone who hears it. If you have any information about the disappearances in Coldwater, or if you know someone who does, please contact your local authorities. The families deserve answers. The victims deserve justice. And the town deserves to live in the light once more. Thank you for joining us on Chilling Mysteries. If this story gripped you, and you want to hear more about unsolved crimes, vanished victims, and the darkest corners of human nature, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Share your theories in the comments below. Could the truth be hiding in plain sight? Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, in every town, behind every door, a chilling mystery could be waiting.